Hi everybody, this is Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to make this shawl here. And as you can see, it's a really big rectangle shawl. I think it turned out really nice. There's the stitches. It's really easy. It's just a 1-row repeat. Now it measures approximately 64 inches long and 24 inches wide. Now you can adjust it. I'll show you how to adjust the length of your chain if you don't want it that big. Also, you can add more rows if you prefer it to be longer in the back, or you can take some off if you feel like it's too long. But as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you look in the lower right hand corner, you see a little red subscribe button. If you click on that, you'll automatically be subscribed. And also, if you like the shawl and you think the video is nice, if you could give me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get started on this. Okay, for this project, I am using Gazelle, a rock and roll yarn. This comes from Hobium Yarns. I will put a link below in the description box to where you can get this yarn. It is a 21% acrylic, 70% polyamide, and 9% merino blend. It is a medium weight number 4 yarn. It's nice and shiny. There are 125 yards per ball, and I used 9, but I didn't use a lot of the 9th one, so you're probably going to need about maybe 1,050 yards, something like that, to make it the same size as me. And the color that they don't always have names. It's just 12-8-33. That's the color number. It's just their red one. You'll be able to see it on there if you check it out. And then I'm going to be using a size J, which is a 6.5 millimeter crochet hook. Now this stitch, you can make this the shawl bigger than what mine is. It's done in a multiple of 5 plus 3, in case you want to make it bigger or smaller, or maybe you want to use this stitch for something else. But if you want to make it as big as mine, I'm starting with a chain of 178. Now that is the length of what would wrap around you. That's not the width of it. That's the length, the part that would wrap around you. So if you want to adjust that chain count, it needs to be done in a multiple of 5 plus 3. But if you want to follow along with me, I started with the chain of 178 stitches. Alright, I'm going to show you on a smaller scale since I already have my big piece done. But once you get your 178 stitches done, what we're going to do is we're going to put 1 single crochet in the 2nd stitch from the hook. Now remember, we don't count the one that's on our hook. So in the 2nd stitch from the hook, we single crochet. And now we're going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch for the length of the chain. Just like this. 1 single in every stitch until you get to the end of the row. Alright, when you make it to the end of the row, you should have a total of 177 stitches. So that would end row 1. So for row 2, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. And we're going to put a double crochet right there into that very first stitch here. Now we're going to skip 2 stitches and we're going to do a shell into the next stitch. So skip 2, skip, and in the next one we're going to do a shell. And this is what the shell consists of. It's 4 double crochets into the same stitch. And then chain 3 and go back into the same stitch and work one more double crochet. So that's the shell. 4 doubles, chain 3, 1 double, all into the same stitch. Now we're going to start the repeat of the row. We're going to skip 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in the next stitch we're going to work a shell. So we're going to skip the 4, and in the next we're going to work 4 doubles, chain 3, and go back into the same stitch and work another double crochet, just like that. Again, we're going to skip 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the next one we work a shell. So we work 4 doubles, chain 3, and then we work one more double into the same stitch. And this is the pattern we're going to repeat all the way across. So skip 4 again, skip 1, 2, 3, 4, and then shell. Skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and shell, all the way until you get to the end of the row. All right, I'm coming to the end of row 2. I did my last shell here, and you'll have 3 stitches that remain when you make it to the end. You want to skip 2 stitches, and then we'll end in a double crochet into the last stitch. Now, if you're following me, you should have a total of 35 of these shells now at the end of your row 2. So 35 of those. Now row 3 is the repeat row for the rest of the shawl. It's actually just a 1 row repeat. It's a very simple but yet very, very pretty pattern. So for row 3, we're just going to chain 1 and turn our work. We are going to put a double crochet right here into the very first stitch. And now what we're going to do is we are going to put a shell. We're going to skip this double crochet of the shell, skip this chain. We're going to put a shell into this first double crochet after the chain 3 space. So here's the chain 3 space. The very first double crochet after it, we're going to go right into it and we're going to work a shell. Not into the chain 3 space, into the double crochet after the chain 3 space. So we're going to work 4 double crochets, and then we're going to chain 3, and we're going to put 1 more double crochet into that same stitch, just like that. And then we're going to jump over here to the next shell, and we're going to work a shell in the double crochet after the next chain 3 space. So right here, here's my chain 3 space, here's that double crochet right after it, go right into the top of it, and we work our shell. 4 doubles, a chain 3, and then 1 more double. So there's 4, chain 3, and 1 more double. And that's what we're going to repeat until we get to the end of the row. Super simple. We're gonna see our next chain 3 space right here of our next shell. We're going to put a shell and the double crochet right after that chain 3 space. So right in the top of that double crochet after this chain 3 space, we work another shell. Just like that. And we're going to keep repeating that until we get to the end of row 3. So here's my next shell. Here's my chain 3 space. Here's the double crochet right after that chain 3 space. I'm going to work a shell right there into that stitch. And I'm going to repeat this pattern until I get to the end of the row. Alright, I've just finished working a shell there into that double crochet after the chain 3 of my last shell. I'm at the end here and I want to finish off row 3 by putting a double crochet into the top of this double crochet here at the end of the row. So double crochet right there in that last stitch. That'll end row 3 and you still should have 35 shells. Now all it is just a repeat of row 3. So we'll just start again. Row 4, we chain 1 and turn our work, and we're just going to repeat what we did on row 3. Double crochet right there, back in that same stitch. And then we are going to put a shell into the first double crochet after this chain 3 space of this shell. And then we're going to jump to the next shell and put a shell into the first double crochet after the chain 3 space of the next shell. So we're just repeating what we did on row 3. And that's what we're going to repeat until we get our shawl however big we want it to be. You will always have 35 shells at the end of every row. Every row will be the same. Just like that. And it'll start to look like that. They just kind of look kind of catty-cornered a little bit. So we're just going to keep repeating row 3 until we get it the width that we want it to be. Alright, I went ahead and a total of 32 rows. And that is including that very first row of single crochet that we did. I did 32, but remember you can do as many as you want. I still have a bunch of tails to hide. But that's pretty much it. If you want to add some type of fringe or edging, you know, that's always an option. But I'm going to leave mine the way it is since it kind of ends and, you know, has the shells at the bottom. But that's all there is to it. It's pretty easy. I hope that you enjoyed my tutorial. I think it turned out really nice. The yarn's really pretty. Don't forget to check out all my other tutorials. I have hundreds of tutorials. Hopefully you can find something else you like and want to make. Also, don't forget to check me out on Facebook. If you have Facebook, I'll put a link to that below in the description box. And don't forget to subscribe. If you look up in the left hand corner, you'll see a picture of my face. Go ahead and click on that and you'll automatically be subscribed. And also don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And until next time, have a good day.